Today's WNEM TV5 Evening Extra is brought to you by the Law Office of Carol Thomas.
Thanks for tuning in to TV5 Evening Extra. Calls to calm down tensions in today's politics. That's what drew 4 former Michigan governors on both sides of the aisle to come together today.
The quartet headlined a bipartisan forum in Lansing on restoring respectful and peaceful disagreements in a hyper-partisan era.
As TV5's James Felton tells us, you may be surprised as to what one of them says is America's greatest threat.
In these times, I just think it's important to remind ourselves that, as John F. Kennedy said once, we all breathe the same air. We all inhabit this small planet.
Former Governor Jennifer Granholm joined 3 other people who once held Michigan's top job today at a forum in Lansing on restoring respectful and peaceful disagreements in our divisive political atmosphere. Among the attendees, former Governor Rick Snyder.
The greatest threat to America, in my view, is us. And that's our lack of ability to get along with one another. That's our greatest threat, and we need to do something about it.
And former Governor Jim Blanchard.
If it was 2015, we wouldn't be hosting a forum on civility. We had it. We had it.
But the panel, which also included former Governor John Engler, says we're a long way from more civil times. Engler mentioned the Reagan Library has a civility compass that includes several key concepts for civility.
Embrace human dignity, practice deep listening, identify key interests, honor complexity, ground arguments in factual evidence, acknowledge context, show courageous openness, stay connected. That's part of our conversation today, how we do those attributes, which I think lead to being able to have a dialogue.
Blanchard points out that this group practices what they preach.
You need to know we are friends and we get along, and we might not agree on stuff. I'm sure we don't agree on everything. But it's important for you to understand that and know that we're committed to working together in the future like we hope all of you will do.
And Snyder says we can do the same. He tells us he takes the approach of having relentless positive action.
No blame, no credit. What's the problem? What's the solution? And be relentless in pursuit of positive solutions. That's what we need to move towards. That is the best path for us going forward versus the broken system we have today.
A system that Granholm believes can be fixed if we all do our part to repair it.
We all love our country. We're not naive about the fraught times we're in, but the fact that we all love our country and our state is a good place to start.
James Felton, WNEM TV5.
For more information on the Reagan Center Civility Compass, go to the Wednesday Hot Links section on our website, WNEM.com. Governor Gretchen Whitmer is responding after President Trump suggested federalizing Michigan elections and sending federal agents in to count the votes. In an interview on Monday, the president told former FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino that Republicans should, quote, take over the voting in at least 15 places, while repeating claims that he won states where official totals showed he lost, calling those states crooked. On Tuesday, the president said there's horrible corruption in Detroit's elections. In response, Governor Whitmer said in part, Michigan's elections are safe and secure and will continue to be run at the state level as stated in the U.S. Constitution. She added any attempt by the federal government to take over Michigan elections should be viewed as an attempt to take away state residents' constitutional right to vote.
In the first alert, pinpoint Doppler radar is dry tonight, but that will change at times over the next couple of days as after this quiet night that we have this evening, snow will return at times tomorrow and also into Friday. Friday being the most inconvenient as it does arrive during the morning commute. Your first alert sky tracker also showing some areas clearing out today. Had a chance to see some sunshine. Some areas more fortunate than others, but many did. That will change later on tonight as clouds return, and then late tomorrow morning into the afternoon, there will likely be some light snow that redevelops around the area. A couple of frames of the hour-by-hour forecast there show that late morning to early afternoon arrival. A look outside at downtown Saginaw tonight. Things are dry and in good shape. As far as our temperatures go, we're mostly in the teens and 20s at this hour. It seems like most of the 20s are going away at this point. But as far as Bay City, you're at 17. MBS just shy of that mark at 19. Midland 18. Standish 19. And temperatures feeling more like the teens over much of the area. But Tawas City has actually dropped off off below 0 for tonight. Winds pretty light, only about 5 miles per hour or so. They will stay light through tonight. We'll tell you when these will also increase, plus a look towards some cold temperatures this weekend coming up.
Thank you, Chris. A 22-year-old man is dead following a single vehicle crash in Saginaw County. State police say this crash happened this past Saturday morning just before 3 in Birch Run Township. The preliminary investigation shows 4 men were in an SUV and the driver lost control while heading east on Birch Run Road and hit a tree. None were wearing seatbelts. The front seat passenger, a 22-year-old man from Columbiaville, died at the scene. The 3 others were treated at a hospital. The investigation is ongoing.
New at 5, immigration enforcement, the focus of a roundtable today among local and state leaders. Attorney General Dana Nessel, elected officials, law enforcement, clergy, and other leaders discussed what people should do if they encounter agents with the Department of Homeland Security. Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson says neither his office nor other agencies in the county collaborate with ICE.
A detainer is not an order by a judge. If we have any involvement with federal agencies, we are very clear that they have their responsibility and we have ours. If there's a state entanglement and they have a detainer, we focus on that state entanglement, a misdemeanor, a felony, a charge that has a sentence. Should that detainer still be there, we don't hold it. They don't pick up, they're released.
Nessel says DHS is doing immigration raids in Michigan. She says her office is working with local police to outline what state law says about people's rights. And there's now a forum for residents to report concerning behavior of federal agents. You can find that in our hot links section.
The unofficial results for the 35th State Senate District primaries are in. Chedrick Green secured the Democratic primary election with 60% of reported votes. Republican Jason Tunney won with 51% of reported votes. The two will face off in the general election on May 5th. For a full breakdown of the primaries, you can check out our election results page at WNEM.com.
An investment opportunity for local nonprofits to expand their impact. Applications for the 2026 Dow Championship Team Up Grant Program are now open. The award goes to 7 organizations across Saginaw Bay, Midland, and Isabella counties. 8 additional nonprofits will be selected based on their work serving multiple or all 4 counties. Each selected nonprofit will receive a $4,500 grant. Applications are due March 13th, and to learn more, go to the hot links section on WNEM.com. This weekend, many will be stocking up on chips and dip, wings, and of course beer for the big game. But that can be tough for people in recovery.
And TV5's Zane Omer reports that's why one organization is holding a Sober Bowl celebration and watch party.
New Paths is hosting their Sober Bowl party this Sunday, giving people an opportunity to have fun without having a drink in their hand.
We'll have the game on, we're going to have live entertainment in the beginning of the show, and then we'll also have some halftime musicians as well.
Food, fun, and of course football, all staples for a Super Bowl party, minus the alcohol.
We got interviews with stakeholders, with our alumni, with other people in recovery, and just started to ask them, like, what do you want to see happen for an event like a Sober Bowl? And they're like, we just want to go to an event where there's no alcohol, no pressures, no stressors, and just be able to enjoy the big game, food, fellowship, lots of fun.
Chief Operating Officer for New Paths, Aaron McClellan, says Super Bowl Sunday is one of the biggest days for drinking, which can make the celebration feel isolating for people in recovery or those choosing not to partake.
It provides those social outlets where individuals may feel like, oh, I can't do this or do that due to the pressures of substance use being so prevalent at events. It just allows for a great time and people to realize that they don't need to engage in substances to come out and have fun.
For those navigating the day sober, whether with New Paths or at home, McClellan says planning ahead can make a difference.
Have a plan in place once you begin to feel uncomfortable that you can leave. Bring your own beverages so you don't feel the need to indulge in something that is offered to you. And of course, have clear boundaries. And you can say no. It's okay to say no.
And for anyone who may feel pressured to pick up the booze,
people have abstained from substances for decades. So this isn't a new thing. Be yourself and stay true to your values and your principles. Stay true to the recovery plan that you have adapted for yourself. Bring a friend who's also in recovery. I mean, you don't have to do any of this alone. phone.
The tailgate starts at 5 o'clock before the game at 6:30. You must register in advance to secure a seat. Reporting in Flint Township, Zane Omer, WNEM TV5.
All right, thank you, Zane. A wintertime favorite returns.
After the break, when you can see the cardboard sled races at Midland City Forest.
Plus, a unique opportunity at the Flint Children's Museum. How your family can get an up-close look at real sled dogs still ahead.
Good shots being fired inside. South end of the building, south end of the building.
That's footage from the body cam of the Grand Blanc Township police officer who was one of the first on scene during September's Mormon church shooting.
He and a DNR officer both confronted the gunman, and both of them fired shots that ended the gunman's life. Today, they officially learned that using their weapons that day was justified under the law.
TV5's Zane Omer spoke with the prosecutor for more on how they arrived at that conclusion.
These officers essentially were heroes. They came to a very difficult scene, and they made what I believe to be a legally entitled decision to shoot Sanford after what he had done.
On September 28, 2025, unimaginable violence at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township. After a month-long review, Genesee County Prosecutor David Layton declining to issue charges against two officers for their use of deadly force against the gunman, Thomas Jacob Sanford of Burton.
We believe that both of the Grand Blanc officer and the conservation officer had a reasonable belief that Sanford was dangerous, that he was engaged as an active shooter, that he was a suspect in a mass shooting and an arson, armed with an assault rifle that he refused to put down, and that they were in reasonable fear under these circumstances for their own well-being.
In a letter to Michigan State Police, the prosecutor's office outlined the tragic chain of events, stating Sanford, armed with an AK-47, refused to put down his weapon. Layton says he lowered the rifle in a threatening manner, moving toward the officers when several rounds were fired, killing him.
We reviewed multiple police reports that were submitted by multiple agencies. We also looked at all of the video that was available, and that would include body camera footage, dash cam footage from people who were on scene. We looked at all the casings that were at the scene, where they were, all the witness statements that were available.
Michigan State Police, the leading agency, wrapped up their investigation in December, and it took through January for the prosecutor's office to announce a decision. Layton says what the evidence showed, particularly the video footage, made the conclusion clear.
It's a terrible tragedy, no question about it. People's lives were lost, A church was destroyed. You still have to go through all of the reports, all of the evidence, and make sure you apply the law to the facts as you find them. That's what we did here.
In a statement, Grand Blanc Township Police Chief William Rennie says, "We appreciate the thoroughness by both the Michigan State Police and Prosecutor Layton's office in looking into this matter. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all the victims and their families who've been affected by this tragic incident." 4 people were killed. Several others were injured during that attack back in September.
Bay County unveiling the completed design for the new community center pool. It comes after voters approved a millage for the project back in 2024. The pool will be built in Bay City at the County Community Center. According to the county's Recreation and Facilities Department, the design is developed to serve swimmers of all ages, abilities, and interests. It features a zero-entry design for accessibility, zip lines, water slides, an aquatic ninja course, and much more. Recreation and Facilities Department says construction begins this spring and the pool will be open in June of next year.
Experience the action as cardboard sleds race through Midland City Forest on Saturday. This year's theme is video games, with sleds and participants dressed as their favorite characters. There are 3 groups: riders 8 and under, 9 through 17, and adults. Awards include King of the Hill, Best Wipeout, and the Theme Star. Races start Saturday morning at 11.
A unique opportunity this weekend for families at the Flint Children's Museum. Sunday, you can meet the Shorty Creek Sled Dogs. The team from Shelby Township will demonstrate mushing, equipment use, and answer your questions while you learn how the dogs work together as a team. You can even take a short ride in a sled pulled by the dogs. You can meet the sled dog team at the Flint Children's Museum from 12:30 to 2:30.
There's a whole lot of love in Cairo right now. The community is coming together to show love with Valentine's Day signs popping up in storefront windows throughout town.
So how did everyone become so affectionate? TV5's James Felton spoke to the person who got the love train started.
It's been pretty insane.
Love is in the air and on a lot of windows in Cairo. You don't have to look far to see signs showing affection. Lots of them. Anessa Trish is the owner of Gypsy Thrift.
It just started out with me doing a little redecorating of the window with my daughter, and it's taken off.
That redecorating was courting the business across the street.
Maybe we should ask Kretschkis to be our Valentine. And I'm like, yeah. So I was actually kind of nervous to see what their response would say.
An acceptance of love soon followed with a sign of their own. Roses are red. Our barbecue sauce is blue. Gypsy Thrift, we've got a massive crush on you. We would love to be your Valentine.
I thought it was pretty good for the community to kind of brought everybody together. It caught us off guard with them putting it up there. I'd seen our name go up there first. Thought maybe they were trying to start a little sign war with us or something.
Dakota Miller is the manager at Kretsch's Smoky Barbecue. He says it didn't take long for other businesses like Just Teas and Salon to share in the love, telling Gypsy Thrift and Kretsch's Barbecue that love is in the air. Can we cut in?
It's almost this whole strip. They all have signs in their windows. We have, I think, 3 or 4 of them in our windows, so.
And getting back to Gypsy Thrift, they're sending a little love to us here at WNEM too. Trish says all the warm feelings she helped bring here also honors the memory of her grandmother, who was the heart and soul of the store.
She just recently passed away on Christmas, and so she would have loved this. It's amazing that we're able to continue her kindness.
Trish tells TV5 she plans on doing these signs for years to come.
A look outside at downtown Flint tonight, where it does seem like things are quiet. We've had some sunshine to wrap up the day, and it also seems like we'll go through the overnight hours and the morning commute tomorrow relatively calm also, but that could be a change for Friday morning's commute. And before we even get to Friday morning's commute, there's a round of snow on the way for tomorrow. But both of them are expected to be relatively minor. We're not necessarily expecting anything to really get out of control. And I think the fact that there are no advisories that are currently out there speaks to that. We'll see if anything changes because of the inconvenience of Friday's chance. But overall, I don't think there's going to be advisories related to the amount of snow. I would say it would be more timing based if that occurs, but we'll see what happens. happens. As far as Thursday morning goes, we should have no issues as you first step out the door on Thursday, but late morning, early afternoon, you'll likely see some snow return. That snow at first will be battling some of the dry air that we've seen move in today, leading to that sunshine. So it very well could be a situation tomorrow where at least initially it does appear that we'll have a chance for some of that snow to show up on radar, and it may not be reaching the ground right away. I think that eventually changes, but it also could slow some of the development off to the east in the thumb. You can see this model right here doesn't really bring a whole lot into those eastern sections. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow. I still think it'll get there in some capacity, but I think a bigger concern into Thursday evening is the possibility that even though it looks like we've got snow coming to an end here, there may be a chance for some freezing drizzle at times in the afternoon instead of snow, and some of that could linger into the evening as well. I do think eventually, once we get into the overnight hours and we see that snowfall return, that the next disturbance should keep everything snow as it moves through on Friday. But again, the timing right in that morning commute, right during the bus routes, that could slow things down on Friday morning. But you'll notice our temperatures are in the middle to upper 20s. They actually get warmer through the morning into the lower and middle 30s. So I think this is a very good temperature range for any road treatments. And I think the fact that there's some snowfall to deal with on Thursday, we may even be ahead of the game a little bit going into Friday because those crews will already be out there working. So we could be in a decent position by the time Friday morning comes around. Not saying it won't be slippery, not saying it won't be slow in certain areas, but it could be a lot worse. I think those temperatures are worth watching going into Friday night because they do drop off pretty quickly. And then when the animation stops here on Saturday, we've got temps that are primarily in the single digits. As far as your forecast goes for snowfall amounts, between about 1 to 3 inches between the 2 days. So this is a 2-day total. And when you look at it over the course of 2 days, really doesn't seem all that bad. I think wind chills going into Friday night and early Saturday could drop to around 10 to 25 below. So I would expect at this time that there will be a cold weather advisory for Friday night and early Saturday. But then there's the warm up as we head into next week. We'll have a chance for some 30s on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Thank you, Chris. All new tonight, a new take on love at first sight. It's tonight's can't miss moment on the news at 10 on the Great Lakes Sports and Entertainment Network.
Then on TV5 News at 11, these two men hope to be Mid-Michigan's next state senator. A political expert analyzes their respective challenges.
Also at 11, are honeybees at risk in a new state push to eradicate an invasive plant? Why it's a complicated fight.
And if you want to learn more about the weather over the next couple of days, we'll be talking about that at 9 o'clock. Potentially, haven't confirmed with him just yet. We're hoping to get the airborne angler on here soon.
Whoa,
because we are having such a good ice year, so just have to confirm with him. If not tonight, we will eventually. But appreciate Marty for even being willing to talk to us.
Yeah, he's a popular guy this time.
So that would be very cool. And so if he's not on tonight, we will do another night. But very well could be. So tune in.
Awesome. All right, cool. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for watching the WNEM Evening Extra. Keep up with us as the news breaks online, on our app, or on social media. We'll see you on TV5 at 11.